Goodbye, Heather. So, this is a really great boat.
Thank you.
And it is specifically for scuba diving.
It is now, though I do a lot of fishing as well.
Okay.
I have it all set up with downriggers and everything for fishing in the Great Lakes, so that's not a problem.
Question, who are you?
Oh, Brian Pallock.
Yes.
I own Dive Source Scuba in Oshawa.
Okay.
And I've been a member of the Chamber of Commerce for well over 20 years now.
Yes, you have.
And also a third-generation Whitby resident, and very much love the town of Whitby, and couldn't think of anywhere else I'd love to live.
And you are a big contributing member to the business community in Durham. So
thank you.
It is very, very good. We've known each other actually for a very long time.
More than a little.
Since when?
Let me think. Grade 9?
So Brian has a lot of stories. Please do not call, email, or text him for any of those stories because there's really nothing to tell. I was a very boring girl in high school.
She was a very nice girl when she wasn't going to Ukrainian school and getting straight A's and everything else. So.
Oh God. Thank you for inviting me. This is actually during COVID on a beautiful day that the province just announced.
Stage 2 and going to 3 or something.
Exactly. Well,
we're at 2. Yeah.
We're getting into 2 on Friday actually. So
Excellent.
The day is exciting because the announcement's been made by the Premier today at 1 o'clock. So we are still doing very much a COVID interview.
Yep. Yeah, we're outside, social distance.
So how far away? How big is your boat?
My boat's a 24-footer and it's 8 feet across, and I think we're pretty close to 6, and we got a breeze. So
we have a beautiful breeze.
Not a problem.
How come you don't have one of those big fancy boats like those sleeper things?
Well, I can sleep up front if I want to. I've slept more than once.
I like those.
Do you know what?
Is that your doghouse? Have you ever been bad? Is that where you have to?
Sometimes, but do you know what boat stands for?
What boat stands for? No.
Bring out another 1,000. So that's why I don't have one of those big boats.
They're beautiful. And where are we? We are in the Whitby Habour.
We are in Whitby Habour. We're to the left of us, well, behind us now, but you probably can't see it, is the boat launch and Ready Hospital. We're going by the Port Whitby Marina, and we will be turning and then going by the Whitby Yacht Club.
I have never been out on this water before.
Oh, really? It's a good spot. It's close to home.
It's beautiful.
A lot of people actually kayak and paddleboard here as well too. It's a nice harbor.
Yes, it is.
Works
a beautiful
out well.
harbor. I had no idea.
No, I spent many a day here when I was younger. I grew up not too far down the road in the base line. I went to Kathleen Rowe Public School, which is what it's called now. And all my friends were in Port Whitby. So I spent many a day down in this area walking around, because that's where you go for your play date, that's where your friends were.
How does one decide to have a scuba business in a place where it's cold half the year? And like, how does that happen? Oh, a loon! I'm going to be very excited about that. Sorry. Like, how does that happen, Brian? Like,
And I hate to disappoint you, that's a cormorant.
Did you again forget that I'm in the back seat and I am bossing? I am bossing.
Look, a two-headed bird.
What was that?
That was a cormorant.
It was a loon. He's making it all up.
No problem. I got involved in diving. I always wanted to dive.
Okay.
My big thing was all the Jacques Cousteau things and that. I watched every time it came on. I watched it. That was my thing. And then every time National Geographic would be on. And it was funny, when I was a kid, my dad would there'd be something, and there was always the National Geographic. And Dad would turn it up, and I'd come running out of my bedroom. What's on? What's on? So, and my dad was a very avid fisherman when he wasn't farming. And that's what his only part-time stuff was. And we would go out fishing and stuff like that, and I'd get bored because I was a kid. And he'd say, well, you can go jump in and swim. So I'd swim around the middle of the lake with mast fins and snorkel on and try and swim down. And then we had a cottage eventually, and then I started snorkeling at the cottage all the time. And I chased the bass, and I just wanted to dive. And when I turned 25, I got my license. That was over 30 years ago now. And 24 years ago, I'd left engineering, and I was working in mechanical engineering and process control. And we had the last big recession, which I'm sure the next one's going to be just as good.
A doozy.
A doozy.
It will be.
Anyways, we I got laid off at engineering. So
Okay.
a friend of mine was working in the scuba industry, and I got involved, and we decided to open a store. And that's kind of how it worked.
This is your boat,
My boat.
which means you
It's
take
my
people.
boat.
It's your boat.
Here she is, Jenny.
So, stop it. So, you take people out in this boat into Lake Ontario
We take,
to dive.
yeah, we were running commercial charters. We're not now.
Okay.
This year, we're just going to take, I'm not running commercially anymore. I'm just going to be taking friends and people out for free.
I see. So
Yeah.
it was a boat for that purpose, though.
It still
originally.
will be diving. I'm just
Okay.
not charging anything
Not
to go
sure.
out.
Oh wow, that's fantastic.
You know, so we're just doing that type of thing.
So this whole summer.
Yeah, we're going to be doing some of that. Actually, we're
Okay.
planning some dives right here in Whitby.
Okay.
Just for midweek stuff, just for fun to get some of my new divers out. So one of the things we're going to be doing is we'll load up the boat here.
Yeah.
This is the plan right now. We're going to try. And then we're going to go over and tell them to meet us at the pier and park their cars there.
Okay.
And then jump on the boat, and we'll take them out, and they can do a little dive there and then swim back into shore and pick up their car. Just for something different to
That's
do during the middle of the week.
different.
There's not a lot to see on the bottom there,
Right.
but there's fish and stuff. You never know what you might run into.
That's right.
Maybe we'll bury some treasure.
Natalie, go out there and. So when you decide you're doing a dive, do you need to get approval from the town of Whitby?
On that,
Is there-
well, for the shore cleanup
Well,
we work
yes,
with.
that's different.
But no, I don't have to do anything with
Okay.
anybody. If
Okay.
I want to go out here, as long, we do it in public water and make sure everything's safe. We fly a dive flag, which if you're a boater, you would understand that means stay away.
Stay away.
At least, 50 meters.
And this is a big boat. How many divers can you take out?
I can fit 6 comfortably.
Wow. Okay.
I've squeezed 8 on with single tanks, but 6 is nice. It's kind of a 6-pack size.
And how much is a single tank? Now that you say that, what's that give you?
A single tank, they range in size, but
Okay.
on average, a tank is about 80 cubic feet, the most common ones.
Okay.
And at the surface, that would last about 80 minutes.
Okay.
Now, at 30 feet down, it would last half of that.
Okay.
Every 33 feet you go down, you have to gain an atmosphere of pressure.
Okay.
So at 100 feet, it would be a quarter of that time, so it lasts
Right.
20 minutes.
So typically you'd want at least 2,
Well,
as if you're going on a diving.
yeah, you go out when you do
adventure.
2 dives, and we have a surface
Right.
interval in between. And also with tanks, it depends. That's the worst case scenario of how fast someone breathes.
Yeah.
Most people breathe less than that, so that tank would last a long time.
Well, because you learn to breathe properly
Yeah.
when you learn to dive.
Yep.
Okay. I don't scuba dive.
That's okay. I'd offer to take you in the pool.
I will.
COVID's a big pain in the butt, but in the last couple of weeks, a lot of our customers are out diving. They're doing shore dives.
Oh, nice.
They're also doing, getting out and doing some boat charters.
Okay.
But with the boat charters, everybody's got to, if you're going to be closer to each other,
Yeah.
like if I had everybody on the boat, we'd
Yeah.
all have masks on
Okay.
until we went to put our scuba regulator in our mouth,
then you put
and then
the-
we just leave it in our mouth. We've already
Okay.
gone through the protocols for it all, so
Great.
it's doable.
Parting wisdom from a person, not just COVID parting wisdom, give me parting wisdom from a person who's been in business for a long time, an entrepreneur in the region for a very long time. What would you say to a new entrepreneur?
Oh, I didn't expect to have anything like this, but let's think about it. Be open.
Okay.
Be honest. But actually, this does kind of COVID. One of the things I found is when we were having to reflect on it, have the real relationships. A lot of people get in the chamber or different businesses, it's the 5-minute pitch, and they're not real. They're not themselves. They're just the product. And if you can show how a real person you are, and that your product is just like you and good, you'll do so much better. Because I've met a lot of people over the years, some of them, they've had really good products, but they came across so scripted and that type of thing that I just didn't buy it.
Authentic.
That was, yeah, be very authentic. I have my little warts and things like that, like everybody does. And you'll never be perfect, but, try and be authentic, and people will respect you more for it. This was a lot easier than
felt
squeezing into your car in scuba gear.
Yes, yes. It was a good idea. We talked about you coming and doing the whole thing in scuba gear, and it wouldn't have been as comfortable. I think there's still social distancing rules, so
We're
not
okay.
even.
We're okay.
So this is better. This is way better. Thank you.